Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the It Girl Mindset. I'm so excited for today's episode. So I know that summer's just around the corner, which is so insane to say because I feel like it was just January, like 2 weeks ago, but here we are. Bathing suit season is upon us. So I wanted to talk about some mindset tools that you can use to feel confident in a bathing suit. Okay, it's what I work on heavily with my one-to-one clients. It's what I do myself and have done in the past on my journey to really healing my body from the inside out. So let's get into it. Welcome to the It Girl Mindset, where I help you step into the next level version of yourself by mastering your mindset, manifesting your deepest desires, and connecting deeply with your body. It's about becoming the most authentic, radiant, unapologetic, and unbothered version of yourself. Together, we're going to chat about how to unlock your true potential and create a life that feels as good as it looks. If you're ready to become the healthiest, hottest, and most abundant version of yourself, you're in the perfect place. Let's get into it. So before we get into the tools, I always just like to tell you a little story about where I used to be in my journey. And even for me, I am, probably by the time this episode comes out, I'll be in Hawaii. If I was going on any tropical vacation, you would think, oh my gosh, yay, so fun. This is so exciting. But for me, it was always like this huge stressor because I was so uncomfortable in my own body. And I just want to say this too, like it didn't even matter what my weight was because I was 25 pounds overweight. I had the same insecurities when I was really small, okay? And now I feel the most confident I've ever felt in my body. And that's because I focused on my mindset. But even before, like when I was so unhappy in my body, and again, whether I was the 25 pounds overweight or not, I still was so stressed. And the week or two before, I would be like, okay, like I have to be so intense. I need to work out twice a day. I need to, like eat as little as possible. I need to, eat boring chicken, rice, and broccoli. Like I would just be doing the most and would make myself miserable, honestly. I would be skipping dessert. I'd be skipping desserts. I'd probably hide in my house too and not go out and do anything or celebrate anything just because I'm like, nope, don't want to end up going overboard and, anyways, all this stuff because I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust my body. I thought that I was just going to go overboard if I even went out to dinner. So again, I'm just painting this picture of if you're in a place right now where being in a bathing suit actually sounds like your worst nightmare and taking a picture in your bathing suit sounds like living hell. I just want you to know that I have been there before and I have helped so many women, so many of my clients get to a place where they feel so excited and confident in their bathing suits, okay? So anyways, long story short, that's why I'm qualified to talk about this because I have had some horrible body image. And again, you can have horrible body image even if you're super, super thin, okay? It's not a weight thing, it's a mind thing, which is why I want to talk about some mindset tools that you can really use today that won't take you forever. It's not like you have to add on a million different things into your routine, okay? Here's some little shifts that you can make to really help you start to feel confident, okay? So right off the bat, this is something that I talk about all the time, but you need to watch your language, okay? If you are constantly degrading your body, you're constantly telling yourself that you feel fat or you look fat or you're never going to amount to anything or whatever it may be. And again, I'm saying these things because I went through this. Honestly, I know I talk about my body journey a lot, but I don't know if I really have done a great job at explaining how deep and dark and intense it was for me, okay? I wasn't just like, oh, I look bad in a bathing suit. It was like, no, I was my own worst enemy. I truly, honestly hated myself because of my body. But I think it was, when we come down to it, it was probably a lot of not just blaming it on my body when really it was about me just not loving myself in general. But anyways, that's not what this episode is about today. So again, you need to pay attention to your language. You need to start reframing, okay? And this is something that is not going to take extra time because it's in your mind, okay? If you catch yourself, you walk by a mirror and you're like, oh, I hate how my body looks. I just want you to pause and become aware of it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to reframe. And you're going to say, okay, wait, Is this always true? Where did this thought come from? And then you're going to reframe, okay? And say, I love my body. I'm grateful for what my body can do. You don't have to straight up lie to yourself if you're like, I'm sexy as fuck, and you don't actually feel that way. You don't have to do that. I will say, the more you start to unlearn these habits, the easier it will feel for you to be able to be like, damn, I look good today, okay? If I walk past a mirror and I say something negative about my body, you bet your fucking ass I am like, oh my God, I'm so hot. Like, I will literally just like go off in my own head and become my own biggest cheerleader. I will say that's usually on a day when it's not like this deep, dark wound, okay? That's more of when I just kind of have like a small remark, okay? On days when I'm really in the trenches, because we all have bad body image days, okay? But if I'm really in the trenches, I will just kind of like lovingly give myself some compassion. And again, I had to go through this with my acne journey again. So I feel like a lot of this stuff is really fresh for me because I have just healed my acne. And that was like a whole, I don't even know, 4-year process after Accutane. But before that, it was like my whole life. So anyways, it's one of those things where it's like, it's really hard to tell yourself, oh my God, like I love my acne. And it's like, I'm not going to say that because that's not how I feel at the moment. But what I can say is I'm grateful for my skin. My skin is working on healing. I'm doing everything I can to take care of my skin. Okay. Same thing with your body. If you don't want to say, if something doesn't feel aligned to just say, wow, I'm obsessed with my body, you don't have to do that. But what you can do is say, wow, I'm so grateful that my body is carrying me today, that my legs are moving for me, that my heart beats for myself, okay? And if you feel like this feels cheesy, then you really just got to take a deep, hard look at the thoughts and the inner voice that's going on in your brain, okay? First off, we're reframing, okay? And I don't care if you have to reframe 100 times throughout the day or more because we have trillions of thoughts in our brains all the time. We're getting in so much information. We have so many thoughts. There's so many things going on around us, okay? But the cool thing about reframing is it's in your own head and it takes 2 seconds, okay? Again, if you're like, oh, like I feel bloated, I feel fat, whatever it may be, reframe that and say, okay, I'm grateful for my body. I'm taking action towards making myself feel better, whatever it may be, okay? Next is mirror work, okay? And this is not just like standing in front of a mirror and saying affirmations, okay? I actually have a different technique that I've had my clients do because let's be honest, like we're not really used to seeing ourselves half naked, right? Like, okay, you change your clothes sometimes in front of a mirror, sometimes not, but being in a bathing suit, you're like pretty much, you're half naked, okay? And so I think sometimes it can even be a shock whether you love your body or not, just because you're not used to seeing yourself, unless maybe you live on a tropical island, you're just not used to seeing yourself in a bathing suit all that often. And so what I have my clients do and what I've done is you practice putting on your bathing suit and looking in a mirror. Get comfortable looking at your body in a bathing suit, okay? Because it's so easy to just be like, oh, I feel gross in a bathing suit. But like, how often do you actually look at yourself half naked? Not very often, okay? So what I want you to do is practice putting on a bathing suit. If you want to put some self-tanner on to feel better, go ahead and do that. If not, just like practice putting on a bathing suit, look in a mirror, and tell yourself some things you love about your body, okay? Maybe it's, I love my arms, okay? And again, if you are in this really negative headspace where you're like, there is not a single thing I love about my body, I want you to shift into gratitude. And again, say what you're grateful for about your body, that your heart beats for yourself, that your lungs breathe, that, you're working towards feeling good in your body, okay? And if that still is like really, really hard for you, one, you got to get out of your comfort zone and do hard things. That's the best way that you are going to be able to learn and grow and evolve, is to get outside your comfort zone. But if it comes down to it, what you can do is close your eyes, okay? Take a couple of deep breaths in. And obviously, if you're driving or whatever, you don't need to do this right now. But what you can do is just flutter your eyes closed and really imagine your most confident self in your dream body, okay? I still want you to have your bathing suit on. I want you to be looking in the mirror. And I want you to just close your eyes and imagine your favorite bikini. You have your dream body. You are absolutely so proud of how you look and feel in that bikini, okay? And if you want to connect to another maybe time and place where you felt super confident, it doesn't have to be in a bathing suit, but maybe you felt super joyful or super grateful. Let your body feel that emotion, okay? Really tap deep into that and then open your eyes while you still have that feeling in your body, and then go ahead and try saying some positive affirmations or anything like that, okay? Because when we feel those feelings in our body, we can actually change how we view our body physically, okay? You all know what I'm talking about. I'm not joking. Sometimes I'm having a really bad day, or even just like I'm luteal phase. Hi, hello. She's here today. Luteal phase. I will straight up look at my body and not recognize her. And it's just because I'm having a tougher day. Maybe I'm a little bit more stressed. Maybe I'm a little bit more tired. Like, I will literally see through my own eyes that my body physically looks different. Okay. So your brain, depending on how you feel, can actually change how you physically see yourself. Okay. And I just want you to remember that, because one, the cool thing is you can always change how you feel using mindset techniques like that one I just showed you, where you close your eyes, you visualize, you tap into that feeling into your body, and then open your eyes. And I just want you to try and see how you look and feel different, okay? So again, that's such a powerful technique. Yeah, you do have to put a bathing suit on for 2 minutes, maybe tap into, a little bit of a happy state, tap into gratitude, whatever it is, and just say something nice about your body. And the more you start to rewire your brain, you're just building those pathways in your brain to focus on the positives, okay? Your reticular activating system, what you focus on grows, okay? Your brain is a machine. You get to tell it what to focus on, because if you're constantly saying, oh, negative this, your brain is constantly scanning and searching for negativity. But if you're like, nope, I'm going to start shifting to positive things, you're going to start to just notice so many more positive things. It's insane. That's why I'm obsessed with neuroscience. Your brain is so fucking powerful, okay? I kind of already explained this, but the next tip and mindset tool is to tap into gratitude, okay? If you are like, I can't think of a single thing I love about my body when you're in a moment of kind of spiraling, I want you to tap into gratitude. One, as females, we can make humans. Like, that just still blows my fucking mind, okay? We are so powerful and our bodies can do crazy things, and we just need to tap into gratitude and start shifting our focus from, oh my gosh, what it looks like, to, wow, thank you so much for carrying me through this crazy life, okay? So I know I already talked about that, so I'm not going to really dive much deeper into that, but if all else fails and you don't feel like you have the capacity to tap into more like positive energy or to positive mindset, I want you to shift into gratitude. Next is NLP, and this is neuro-linguistic programming. This is how you shift any limiting beliefs. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this a bajillion times, but long story short, we all believe things about everything. We all have beliefs, okay? Especially about our body, based on things that happened to us in our early childhood years, okay? Example, I'll tell you about how I cleared the limiting belief that I had big legs. It's just been a thing that's been in my brain forever. I don't know, up until I cleared it. I've always looked at my legs as just like big, manly legs, okay? And I even have had that reflected back to me many times. And I think people think that they were complimenting me, but in my own brain, I took it as, oh my God, you think I'm a manly man with huge legs, okay? Anyways, like I just remember some guy telling me like, oh my God, Ashley, your legs are huge. Like he said it in a tone, like after looking back, like he said it in a tone that felt like he was kind of complimenting me, but I took it as, oh my God, you think I have huge man legs. Like, anyways, so that like I have big legs has been a belief in my head forever, okay? And so when I did NLP on this, subconscious reprogramming, what I did is I went back to the first time I ever felt that feeling, okay? That feeling of quote unquote having big legs. And when you have a limiting belief, there is a feeling that you have in your body. And you can even try it right now if you want. If you think of any limiting belief about your body, there's sensation that goes on in your body, whether that's like a gut feeling or like maybe you feel like your chest is super heavy or whatever it may be. And so what you do what we do in subconscious reprogramming is we go back to the first time you ever felt that feeling. And most times it's between the ages 0 to 7. And I went back to a time when I was like maybe 4, maybe 5. And I was at this pool party and I had a wart on my toe. On my big toe, I had a wart like growing up. And it was something I was so self-conscious about. And I had to like get it frozen off like a million times. But again, all through like elementary school, I just remember having this wart and I never wanted to wear sandals. And I was at this pool party. And so I was about to go, like I had to take my shoes off and put sandals on and go swimming. And I was bawling my eyes out because I was so self-conscious about something physical on my body. And that was the first time I had ever felt self-consciousness about my body. And so I went back to that root cause, and I was able to rewrite it in my brain. And so it's not scary to me anymore. That event happened still, but the way my brain remembers it is different. And so it allowed me to be free of that limiting belief. And I shit you not, again, your brain is so fucking powerful. Like I said, where you can kind of like shift your energetic state and it will change how you physically see yourself. I changed completely how I viewed my legs. Okay. That's how powerful subconscious rewiring is and how powerful NLP is. It literally takes 10 minutes to completely rewrite how you feel about something and the belief that you have about something. So those are kind of the main mindset tools I wanted to talk about, but I wanted to talk about something else too that's been on my mind lately, because I think it's so easy to compare ourselves to people on the internet who are constantly posting bikini pics and whatever. And even I have posted videos or pictures showing my transformation. Those pictures or videos are like the best of maybe a couple videos or a couple photos or whatever it may be, okay? So I just want to remind you that Instagram is a highlight reel. Even if you think someone has the perfect body, I guarantee that they have had pictures where they're like, oh, like my body looks weird in that photo, okay? Instagram is a highlight reel. We're all posting what looks the best out of maybe a bajillion pictures, okay? So I just want to remind you not to compare yourself to what people look like online, okay? Because it's fake and it's not real. And again, I know I'm speaking to myself here too, because I think I talked about this on a podcast episode. I was even comparing myself to this fitness influencer. Well, she's kind of like nutrition. And I love her. I think she's great. And her body is amazing. And and she goes to the gym every morning. She's very intense with her gym workout. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to be doing more, because I compared myself to her. She doesn't have my body though. And so I started to go to the gym. It was only a couple weeks where I was like going hard and my body felt like shit. I was completely bloated. And it was during like my ovulatory phase, which is the phase when I'm supposed to be feeling my best in my follicular. And I was like super bloated. I felt like I had no energy. And it was just a good reminder to, 1, don't compare yourself. Okay. 2, it's so important to listen to your own body and what type of workouts feel good to you. Okay. Obviously there is a line and we have to be able to, not be able to bullshit ourselves and be able to realize when, okay, we're maybe being a little soft or we're just like being lazy, whatever it may be. Like you have to be able to be real with yourself in that sense. But at the same time, you need to honor and trust your body. And that was a phase where apparently I was not trusting my body and its cues. And I was like, oh, I want to look like her, so I'm going to go to the gym like she does. And again, okay, see, even me, like I have completely healed my body image. I have a great relationship with my body. I love how I look, but I still have times where I'm like, ooh, comparison, her body looks nice. I want my body to look like hers. Or, ooh, like maybe I should get more fit. We all have these thoughts. And the cool thing is that once you have these tools to navigate, you can pull yourself out of it, okay? When I was, when I first lost those 25 pounds, I was obsessed with just getting as small as possible. Like absolutely obsessed. And I would look at girls on the internet and I'd be like, I have to do that. Okay. And I would for months and months and months and months and months realize it would make me feel like shit. And then I would do something else, probably find a different girl's routine and then, try to act like her and do what she was doing and eat what she was eating. And then I'd feel like shit. And I'd have to like, again, kind of come back and be like, okay. But now that I have that trust and I've built this relationship with my body, I'm able to pull myself out, okay? It was 2 weeks of going to the gym and I realized I felt like shit. And I was like, oh, what am I doing, Ashley? And I was able to just kind of come back to myself and be like, we don't need to be copying some influencer on the internet, okay? So just a reminder, everything's a highlight, or Instagram's a highlight reel, social media in general, and everyone's only posting the best of the best. And honestly, I think I should do a better job of maybe posting some things that make people feel a little bit more seen with, you know, even like when I'm bloated and like when I like have not the best picture, you know, but like we're all doing it, okay? And so I just want to remind you not to compare yourself to people on the internet because it's not real. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to say is the best way to feel confident in a bathing suit is to take care of yourself, okay? Take care of your body, honor what it needs, fuel yourself with nutrient-dense foods. And I know this probably is like, duh, Ashley, but the best way to feel confident in a bathing suit is to feel fucking good in your body, okay? And how you feel fucking good in your body is to actually take care of it, okay? Go for walks, okay? Figure out a way that walking works for you, whether that's 3 15-minute walks during the day or 1 45-minute walk, okay? Eat nourishing foods. You have so many chances to eat healthy in a day, okay? You should be at least eating 3 meals a day, okay? So you have 3 chances every single day to make a healthy, nourishing choice for your body, okay? Don't let one of those 3 chances ruin all of the rest, okay? So nourish your body from the inside out, okay? Start off with these mindset tools. Again, I know bathing suit season can be a huge stressor for a woman, and I just want you to know I'm here for you. If you have any questions about any of these tools or techniques, like please message me on Instagram at Ashley Robots. And if you know a friend that needs to hear this or would think this information is valuable, please send it their way or post it on your story and share a win or the biggest takeaway and tag me. I'd absolutely love to hear from you, and it would mean the world to me. Also, I'd love for you to rate and review the show. You can go ahead and click the stars at the top of Spotify, or the link is in the show notes if you want to leave a written review on Apple Podcasts. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next episode.